Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here. Welcome back to the Unexplored Capital Wasteland. Today we're going to be checking out the WKML Broadcast Station. This is a location that is in the far northwestern part of the map. Now, if you watch my previous Unexplored Capital Wasteland videos, like the recent 5 or so episodes, this location can be seen in the background of many of those episodes. It's a very prominent location, visually speaking, in the far northwestern part of the map. However, there really isn't a whole lot here, which is kind of unfortunate. Either way, though, visually speaking, it is quite impressive, and it leaves an impression on the player, so let's go ahead and check it out. And here's the location on the world map, just east of Deathclaw Sanctuary and west of Drowned Devil's Crossing, which was the previous episode. Now, as you approach the front of the WKML Broadcast Station, you will notice that there is a poster from the Enclave featuring their propaganda, rebuilding America's future today. Now, obviously, the Enclave is kind of a genocidal maniac organization, but hey, they have beautiful propaganda. But I did want to mention, it's quite impressive that they can make this propaganda given the state of the Capital Wasteland. It seems like it would take a lot of valuable resources to make all of this propaganda and to plaster it across the wasteland. And for what? Who would ever see this propaganda? I just thought it's kind of funny, kind of worthless from a logistical point of view, but either way, it does add a lot to the game, so hey, I'll let it slide. Anyways, as I approached, there was a dead raider surrounded by 4 vicious dogs. I killed all of the dogs, but there's nothing on their bodies. Then I looted the raider to see if he had anything of interest, and, well, he had 7 bottle caps, so there you go. Now, this is a random encounter, specifically a random encounters will spawn in front of the station. Now, the station itself features 3 of these radio towers, and then a main building. However, there really isn't a whole lot inside of the building. We have various desks and this old equipment that was probably used to broadcast a radio signal, obviously speaking. Whatever WKML was probably very prominent in the pre-war era. Now, there is an activation switch on the western wall of this room, and if we turn it on, we get this radio signal that just broadcasts some Morse code. It's the same exact code for several radio stations across the Capital Wasteland, so it's really not anything special. Now, the main thing of interest here is the sealed cistern, which contains an explosive bobblehead. However, it can be a bit difficult to find, but the location does appear on your local map if you need help finding it. But here I will show you. If you go to the front entrance of the broadcast station, then we just head right in between south and southwest, south by southwest to be specific. It is right underneath this cliff, and you can find the sealed cistern. Now, it is important to note that you don't want to take large followers in here, such as Fox, because they can become permanently stuck, and you have to reload a past save, and you can get trapped inside of here, which is no good. But there is some valuable loot. We have a stim pack, and a stealth boy, and then, of course, the explosives bobblehead. A really good find indeed. But besides that, there really isn't much of interest within the WKML Broadcast Station. However, I want to mention within this sealed cistern, we have a pretty haunting scene here. We have what appears to be a pre-war woman who appears to have blown her brains out. There's no gun to indicate this. Perhaps the gun was taken. Don't know why they would leave around other valuable loot, but hey, whatever. That, probably survived the Great War, or at least initially survived, but decided on suicide when they couldn't reach any help. Obviously, they came to this sealed cistern. They were trying to broadcast using the radio towers above, but had no luck. It's a pretty haunting scene and adds a lot to the environmental storytelling. All right, everyone, and there you have it. The WKML Broadcast Station. While there really isn't a whole lot here, it's a very cool and prominent visual across the northwestern part of the Capital Wasteland. And I really enjoyed checking it out. And while there was a lot of hype for me coming up to this location, not really knowing what to expect, I was kind of let down. But still, I really enjoyed it. It's a pretty cool place. And we got the explosives bobblehead. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations for a future location, future video, please post them in the comment section below. And as always, until next time.